You are standing in your basement, water is spraying everywhere, and you reach for that shutoff valve. You crank it, you force it, and nothing happens. The valve is seized. That moment right there is why choosing the right valve matters more than most homeowners realize. After over 25 years in the trade, I have seen every type of valve fail in ways that could have been completely avoided. Today, I am walking you through 10 things you need to know about ball valves, gate valves, and butterfly valves. Stick around for number 10, where I reveal the one valve you should absolutely never install in your home, plus a bonus tip that could save you from a flooded basement. The first thing you need to understand is how ball valves work. Inside a ball valve, there is a solid sphere with a hole bored through the center. When the handle is parallel to the pipe, that hole lines up perfectly and water flows straight through with almost zero resistance. Turn the handle 90 degrees and that solid portion of the sphere blocks the flow completely. That is it. 1/4 turn, from fully open to fully closed. There is no guessing, no cranking, no wondering whether you got it all the way shut. You look at the handle and you know instantly what position it is in. The simplicity of this design is exactly what makes it so reliable. There are very few internal parts that can corrode or wear out. Most residential ball valves use chrome-plated brass bodies with PTFE, TFE seats that resist buildup and provide a watertight seal even after years of sitting in the same position. For home plumbing, a standard full-port ball valve in 3/4 inch or 1 inch size is the gold standard for main water shutoffs, fixture isolation, and water heater supply lines. If you are doing any work on your home plumbing system, this is the valve type you should default to every single time. The second thing worth knowing is how gate valves work. A gate valve operates on a completely different principle. Inside the valve body, there is a flat or wedge-shaped gate that moves up and down on a threaded stem. When you turn the round handle counterclockwise, that gate rises up out of the water path and allows flow. Turn it clockwise and the gate lowers back down to block the pipe. It sounds straightforward enough, but here's the problem. That gate has to travel a long distance to go from open to closed. Depending on the size of the valve, you might need 5, 6, or even 10 full rotations of the handle to get a complete shutoff. That means, in an emergency, you are standing there cranking a handle while water is pouring out of a burst pipe. On top of that, the internal components of a gate valve are constantly exposed to the water passing through. Over time, mineral deposits, corrosion, and sediment build up on the gate and the seat surfaces. That buildup prevents the gate from seating properly, which means the valve can get stuck partially open. You think it is closed, but water is still trickling through. If you have an older home built before the mid-1990s, chances are very high that your main shutoff is a gate valve. And if you have never operated it since you moved in, there is a real possibility it will not work when you need it. The third item on the list is how butterfly valves work. A butterfly valve uses a flat disc mounted on a rotating shaft that sits right in the center of the pipe. When you rotate the handle, that disc pivots on its axis. In the open position, the disc turns edge onto the flow, and in the closed position, it rotates perpendicular to block the pipe. Now here's the key thing to understand. Even when a butterfly valve is fully open, that disc and that central shaft are still sitting right in the middle of the flow path. They never leave the pipe. That means water always has to flow around the disc, which creates turbulence and restricts flow no matter what position the valve is in. In large commercial pipes, say 6 inches, 8 inches, or 12 inches in diameter, that disc is proportionally small compared to the total flow area, so the restriction is manageable. But in a 3/4 inch or 1 inch residential supply line, that disc takes up a significant percentage of the pipe opening. The flow restriction becomes a real performance issue. Most homeowners have never even seen a butterfly valve in person, and honestly, that is a good thing because they were never designed for your house. Now, if this kind of practical plumbing knowledge is something you want more of, I have written a guide called 50 Easy Plumbing Fixes that will save you $10,000. It is packed with repairs you can do yourself this weekend without calling a plumber. Scan the QR code right now or check the first link below. All right, let us continue. The fourth thing to consider is flow restriction compared across all three valve types. This is where the differences become really obvious in a practical sense. A full port ball valve has a bore through that internal sphere that matches the inside diameter of the pipe. That means when it is open, water passes through, with essentially no reduction in flow. It is like the valve is not even there. A gate valve, when fully open, also provides near full flow because the gate retracts completely above the flow path. So on paper, a gate valve and a ball valve perform similarly in the open position. But a butterfly valve is a different story entirely. Even fully open, the disc sitting in the center creates drag, turbulence, and measurable flow loss. In a residential setting where you are already working with relatively small pipe diameters and relying on municipal pressure, that restriction matters. You might notice lower pressure at fixtures, slower filling of water heaters, or reduced performance from appliances that depend on consistent flow. If you have ever wondered why your water pressure feels weak, even though the utility company says the pressure at the meter is fine, a restrictive valve somewhere in the line could be part of the problem. The fifth item on this list is durability and lifespan. A quality brass ball valve installed in a residential water supply line can realistically last 20 to 30 years or more with zero maintenance. The PTFE seats resist mineral buildup, the quarter-turn mechanism does not corrode the way threaded stems do, and the valve maintains a reliable seal even if you only operate it once every few years. Gate valves tell a very different story. The threaded stem that raises and lowers the gate is constantly exposed to water, and over time that stem corrodes, the packing around it degrades, and the gate itself develops pitting and scale. In hard water areas, this process accelerates dramatically. It is not uncommon to see gate valves that are completely seized after just 8 to 12 years. They are especially problematic in homes where the valve sits untouched for long periods, because the corrosion bonds the gate to the seat. Butterfly valves in residential-sized pipes face their own durability issues. The rubber or elastomer seat that seals against the disc wears down faster in small-diameter, high-velocity applications. The disc itself can develop pitting, and because the shaft bearings are always in the flow path, they corrode and stiffen over time. For commercial and industrial use in large pipes with proper maintenance schedules, butterfly valves last a reasonable amount of time. In a home where nobody is performing scheduled valve maintenance, they are simply not a good long-term solution. The sixth thing you absolutely need to know is which valve is most likely to fail when you need it most, and that is the gate valve. This is not theoretical. I have personally responded to hundreds of calls over 2.5 decades where a homeowner had a burst pipe, a failed water heater, or a major leak, and they could not shut the water off because their gate valve was seized. The failure mode is almost always the same. The valve has been sitting in the open position for years. Mineral deposits have built up between the gate and the valve body. The stem packing has dried out and corroded. When the homeowner tries to close it in a panic, the handle either will not turn at all, or it turns, but the gate does not move, because the stem has corroded away from the gate internally. Meanwhile, water is flooding the house. Some homeowners try to force it with pliers or a wrench and end up snapping the stem entirely, which makes the situation even worse. A ball valve in the same scenario gives you a fast, clean, quarter-turn shutoff that works the first time, every time. The seventh item worth discussing is where butterfly valves actually belong. Butterfly valves are excellent pieces of engineering when they are used in the right context. You will find them in commercial HVAC systems controlling chilled water flow through large diameter pipes. You will see them in municipal water treatment plants, fire suppression mains, and large-scale irrigation systems. In those environments, they make perfect sense. The pipes are big enough that the disc does not meaningfully restrict flow. The systems are maintained regularly by trained technicians. And the valves are often used for flow modulation rather than hard shutoff, meaning the disc is positioned at various angles to regulate volume rather than simply being open or closed. None of those conditions exist in your home plumbing. Your pipes are small. Your valves need to provide complete shutoff on demand. And nobody is coming by quarterly to exercise and inspect your valves. A butterfly valve in a 3/4-inch residential supply line is the wrong tool for the job. Period. The 8th thing to be aware of is code considerations you need to know. Both the Uniform Plumbing Code, UPC, and the International Plumbing Code, IPC, have specific requirements for shutoff valves in residential applications. Most jurisdictions that follow these codes require a full port valve at the main water shutoff. In practice, that means a full port ball valve. Gate valves were historically accepted, and you will still find them in older homes that were built to the code standards of their era. But in new construction and renovations, many local code amendments now explicitly call for ball valves at the main shutoff and at key isolation points like water heaters and boiler feeds. Butterfly valves are generally not listed as approved valve types for residential potable water supply in most jurisdictions. If an inspector sees a butterfly valve on your main shutoff or on a fixture supply line, there is a very strong chance it will not pass inspection. Even if you are doing work without pulling a permit, installing a valve that does not meet code creates a liability issue if you ever sell the home or file an insurance claim related to water damage. Always check your local code requirements, but in the vast majority of cases, a full port brass ball valve is the only valve that checks every box. The 9th item on the list is when to replace a gate valve with a ball valve. If your home has gate valves on the main shutoff or on key fixture isolation points, the smartest thing you can do is replace them proactively before they fail. Do not wait for an emergency. Here is what I recommend. Start by locating your main water shutoff. If it has a round handle that you turn multiple times, that is a gate valve. Try closing it gently. If it moves smoothly and shuts off completely, with no dripping from the stem or downstream fixtures, it is still functional, but living on borrowed time. If it is stiff, if it does not close all the way, or if water still flows when you think it is closed, that valve needs to come out now. A licensed plumber can typically swap a gate valve for a ball valve in under 2 hours, and the parts cost for a quality 3/4-inch brass ball valve is usually between $15 and $30. Compare that to the cost of a flooded basement, damaged drywall, ruined flooring, and mold remediation. For the handy homeowner, this can be a DIY project if you are comfortable sweating copper or working with push-fit fittings like SharkBite. Shut off the water at the meter, cut out the old gate valve, and install a new full port ball valve. Just make sure you match the pipe size exactly and use proper fittings for your pipe material. The 10th and final item is the one valve you should never install in your home. After everything we have covered today, the answer should be clear. Butterfly valves have absolutely no place in residential supply plumbing. They restrict flow in small pipes. They are not designed for the hard on and off shut-off demands of a home system. They are not approved by most residential plumbing codes, and they offer zero advantages over a ball valve in this application. Gate valves get a conditional pass. If you already have them and they still work, they are not an immediate emergency, but they should be on your replacement list. For any new installation, any upgrade, any repair, the ball valve is the only answer. It is fast, reliable, code compliant, affordable, and proven. Every shutoff point in your home, from the main line to the water heater, to individual fixture stops, should ideally be a ball valve. That single decision will protect your home from the kind of catastrophic water damage that costs thousands and thousands of dollars to repair. All right, here is the bonus tip that pros actually use, and it is something almost no homeowner thinks about. Even if you have ball valves installed throughout your entire house, you need to exercise them at least once a year. That means walking through your home, turning every ball valve from open to closed and back to open again. Just one full cycle. This keeps the PTFE seats from bonding to the ball surface, prevents any mineral scale from building up at the seal points, and ensures the handle mechanism stays smooth and responsive. I tell every homeowner I work with to pick one day a year, maybe the same day you change your smoke detector batteries, and exercise every valve in the house. It takes less than 10 minutes, and it guarantees that when you actually need to shut off water in a hurry, every single valve will work perfectly. That one simple habit separates the homeowners who handle emergencies calmly from the ones who end up calling me at 2 in the morning with water pouring through their ceiling. All right, that is the full breakdown. Remember, every single plumbing fix I wish homeowners knew about is in my book, 50 Easy Plumbing Fixes. Scan the QR code on screen right now or grab it from the first link in the description. I appreciate you watching, and if you want more of these practical fixes, make sure to subscribe. I will see you in the next one.